Thanks, Lizzie. We're looking at hurricane warnings still in effect for the southeastern part of the state and tropical storm warnings over all of Acadiana, including the parishes that border the Texas state line now. Areas that are outlined in red here, which include Lafayette, St. Martin, Vermilion, Iberia, and St. Mary, are still under a hurricane watch. Now, the center of circulation came on shore near Port Fourchon a little bit earlier this morning, and now it's slowly making its way inland along the Lafourche-Terrebonne Parish line, and it's about 35 miles to the southeast of Houma now. The center of circulation is going to continue to move northward over the basin areas, and it looks like now it could squeeze in between Lafayette and Baton Rouge. Winds are at 80 miles per hour. Gusts generally on the east side and over the waters of Barataria Bay and areas along the mouth of the Mississippi River would see some of these higher wind gusts. But it is at least moving to the west-northwest now at around 8 miles per hour. It was stationary for a while during the overnight hours. So we're still looking at Category 1 hurricane as it pulls inland. This would be very, very close to Morgan City. So areas of eastern St. Mary and much of lower St. Martin and parts of Terrebonne Parish probably will see some sustained winds as high as 60, maybe 65 miles per hour for a while. But Morgan City is going to be on the west side, so maybe slightly lower than what you're going to see on the east side, but a difference of just maybe 15 miles or so on the position could make a huge difference as well. Then it will move inland, but still could pack some winds around 60 miles per hour as it crosses in between Baton Rouge and Lafayette. So that would put the wind speeds here in the hub city, let's say later this afternoon and going into the overnight hours, we could still be seeing 40 to 50 mile per hour winds sustained across a large part of the region. So tropical storm force winds are going to continue, and we don't think we're going to see the low pressure area dropping back to a tropical depression until it gets over north central Louisiana sometime late tomorrow night. So we may be dealing with this for 24, maybe up to 36 hours tops. And then as the low gets over central parts of Louisiana, there could be a bit of a southwest flow. That's going to bring a little bit of a storm surge here along the Iberia, St. Mary, and Terrebonne coastline. But that might not come into play for a little while. But we're expecting maybe a 2 to 5 foot storm surge there along the coast. But again, that might not come into play until sometime Thursday. Here's the satellite imagery. Again, some dry air coming around. It's not a real organized hurricane, but at the very least, it's a minimal hurricane with winds at 80 miles per hour. Heavy rains continuing here over Alabama, Mississippi. And the heavy squalls are now pushing through the North Shore, or rather through the New Orleans area, as well as the North Shore, and a lot of that heavy rain kind of running right up the Mississippi River, and we can get a better look at it here. Here's Morgan City, so the western eye wall, as you will, is starting to move westward, about ready to approach areas near Houma. So over around Morgan City, you folks are probably going to see a good 45, maybe 50 mile an hour sustained wind for a while today. Computer models kind of take the hurricane northward and weaken it to a tropical storm. We're getting into the overnight hours, and we're still looking at the center of circulation, possibly here just to the east of Lafayette, even as early as tomorrow morning. So we could be here with these winds for a good 24 to 36 hours. So here's the center of circulation. On the west side, winds sustained probably 30 to 35 for a while. By midday, we're going to be talking about winds picking up in the 40 to 45 mile per hour range with higher gusts on top of that. Then as the center continues, and the new model is kind of shifting that center of circulation a little bit farther to the southwest, but it's quite a bit of a wobble, and then moving northwestward across the region. So we could be seeing the center of circulation at least grazing the eastern half of Acadiana this time around. Here's your timeline. Winds started up already. They're going to pick up and hang around for most of the day today and early tomorrow. Squalls, power outages are going to be possible as well, especially if we start to get some of that heavy rain. And then as far as other conditions, winds right along the Atchafalaya River could gust to 75 miles per hour in squalls, but I think gradually we're going to be looking at 40 to 50 across most of the Acadiana area. And like I said, if we get some of the heavier downpours that could loosen some of the root systems in the trees, we could see some power outages due to falling trees, but most of that will occur over the eastern sections of Acadiana. So far, our winds north at 24, gusting at times up to 32 miles per hour, and we should see some of those higher wind gusts coming in later today, maybe approaching or exceeding 40 miles per hour as we head into the late afternoon and early evening hours. Right now, it's 4:11 and 83 degrees.